Good Friday afternoon to you. I hope that you are having some contemplative and reflective time today, like I have. I'm glad that I can share, I think, an important message with you. Let us begin, as we always begin here at Uncommon Communion, by recognizing and remembering that always and everywhere we are in the holy presence of Christ and each other. So, a couple of things to start with, and then I'm going to devote most of this to some words from a novel that I find particularly significant, and want to encourage you to invite you to check out yourself. So, the first thing today, you might have seen that I posted just a moment ago the last two stations of the cross from the Busted Halo virtual stations, the videos that I have been putting together for you. And I wanted to post the last two so that you would have the entire set. Now, of course, you could have found the entire set on YouTube on your own, but I also wanted you to have the images, the slides that I prepared years ago for each of those particular stations. So now you have them. And I really would invite you to do what I did just a few minutes ago, actually, is to watch them and to pray with them. And I was surprisingly moved by them for a couple of reasons. One is that they're so powerful. I love the music. I love the words. I love the simplicity, the images, just everything about them to me feels so spot on. And it feels even more urgent this year, right now. I haven't really checked much Substack today. I've been really trying to kind of fast from the media like I normally consume on other days. Today, I'm trying to fast from that. And yet, I am seeing that more and more of the voices that I have been listening to, that I have been trusting, are saying we are getting closer and closer to the moment that we're going to need to act to truly save our democracy, to do difficult things like commit nonviolent, spectacular civil disobedience, to general strike, to disrupt and to shut down the wheels of society. And we're not quite there yet. We're very close. And seeing in those videos, those stations about building the kingdom of God and about Jesus giving his all, and about how when we are kingdom builders, that we are going to suffer, that it's going to be hard, felt really spot on and encouraging to me today. And I just really commend you to them, because I think we need the nourishment, we need the encouragement, we just need that, because we are right there, y'all. It is coming. You know, there's rallies tomorrow. They are set to be nonviolent and very much in the mold of the ones that have come before. These are the 51 rallies. I'm going to one tomorrow. I hope you are as well. And yet there may very well need to be, just a different way of gathering, let's say, very soon. The second reason that it really was very moving to me was it made me reflect on my past. I haven't really talked too much about the genesis or the meaning of those stations for me, but they were ones that I showed to my students in the last few years that I was teaching. And I would take them to the chapel at the Catholic school where I taught religion, theology, and put up a screen and project them and use the slides. That's where the slides came from. And really, it was a very moving experience for me to do that, 5 times with my students. And I think it was for them as well. Making the Stations of the Cross relevant for all people, but especially young people, is tough. And I think the way that those videos did it, I think helped make that more relevant. So I was feeling some wistfulness about what I've lost, about where I am no longer of service, where I really am not welcome there. I haven't shared too much here, and I'll just keep it very brief because I want to share more here with you. But my last teaching job, I was kind of run out with pitchforks and torches because that was when really this Trump was still ending, and I was speaking the gospel. I was teaching the gospel, and that school that I was at did not want that, and I was silenced and I was shown the door. And that was more than 3 years ago, and it still hurts to think about. And yet, the death that was has given me so much more life in the job that I'm in now, in what I can say now, in who I can be now, and what I can embrace now. It has just opened me up. And yet, it's easy to look back. It's easy to be sad. I'm looking forward, and that was also part of it. When I finished my time in prayer with the stations, I got on Substack, and my heart was lifted today, y'all, because I found a new person here on Substack. His name is Jeff Spoden. I put his blog, his stack into my notes. I hope you see that. Jeff was my high school social studies teacher more than 35 years ago almost. And we've kind of kept in touch on Facebook. When I moved from Facebook over here, when I deplatformed myself, I shared with Jeff about this, and he joined, and he's writing. And I really encourage you to read him. I hope that his words that he will continue to give as a retired social studies teacher now will have meaning for you and purpose for you, similar to what I gained, 35 years from now ago, and also in the interim. So that feels like just a burst of light and hope for me on this day. I want to end with a bit of a longer reading, and I would encourage you to indulge me in this. I think that you hopefully will find this meaningful, as do I. And this is from a book that was written in 2007. So it was like 15 years. Like so many things, it is more relevant today, I think, than even when it was written. It's called The Messiah of Morris Avenue. The author, Tony Hendra, I believe his name is an interesting person. He wrote a memoir. He was in Hollywood, a screenwriter. Clearly, he had a very deep conversion experience because of a Father Joe in his life. I'm grateful that there's a Father Joe in my life now. So I find that kind of a nice connection. But nevertheless, he wrote this book about the second coming of Christ in our time and what that might look like. And it's a relatively short novel. I'll put a link to it in the message, in the notes here. It's something that if you picked it up today, you could easily have it done by Easter. And I think you would be happy and pleased and enlivened to do this. So just to set this scene. So Jay is the Jesus figure, and he has been really building in his ministry, and he comes to the gates of a military base. I think it's in New Jersey, and he says these words. And there's obviously narrative in between these, but I'm going to just cut that out and just read what this character Jay says. And I share this with you as a reminder that the reason Jesus died on the cross on Good Friday that we remember today was because of his deep love and compassion and commitment to justice, and that threatened the religious establishment and the political establishment, who in Jerusalem of his time were one and the same. They needed each other, and they were in cahoots and in collusion with each other, and together they put Jesus onto the cross. And it is this message that this modern Jesus, Jay, as he's called, after this, he is arrested, and he in the story also is crucified. So again, I will read Jesus's words. And again, I think they are more relevant today. I especially think about, and this will be my last thing that I'll say before I read these. There's talk out there, y'all, about T-Rump putting into play the Insurrections Act. And if you are not familiar with this, please take a look at it, because that is something that goes back to the early, it's like 1809, that allows the president to empower and to force, really, American active duty military onto the streets. And that could be to use against civilians, to use against whoever the president deems is, insurrecting. And apparently, this could be coming soon. Yeah, so it is. We are at a crisis point with this. In this, Jay is talking to the military, and that's going to be a key thing. If the Insurrection Act happens, the military men and women are going to need to make decisions. And this is who Jay is speaking to here. So this is, and I'll close with this, y'all. Jesus says, "Love your enemies. I do. I have loved every soldier on every side of every war ever fought. I have loved every child of God murdered by another child of God. Because make no mistake, whenever one of my children kills another on purpose, it's murder. Whether it's from 30,000 feet or 3, it's murder. It's no less murder than creeping into their bedroom while they're asleep and beating them to death with a tire iron. Murder is not a mission or a calling or a career. If you went to West Point or the Air Force Academy to get a degree in it, it's still murder. All the fancy words your superiors come up with, retaliation, extreme prejudice, overwhelming force, collateral damage, smart this and pinpoint that, cannot alter the fact that all these words mean murder. Wearing a uniform does not stop killing from being murder. Killing for your country does not stop it from being murder. Clicking on an icon 1,000 miles away does not stop it from being murder. Sending a command to a robot does not stop it from being murder. If your sergeant tells you to do it, it's murder. If you were told by an officer to tell an enlisted man to do it, all 3 of you commit murder. It is a murder if a court absolves you of all wrongdoing. It is a murder if a man of God blesses the weapon you murder with. It's a murder if you vote for someone who tells others to murder in your name. It's murder if the one you murder has murdered. And if you say God told you to murder, I say to you, it is not God you are listening to. I have always hated wars waged in my name. God is on our side. Gott mit uns, Deus vult. God bless America. I am on no one's side. I am not on America's side, or Islam's, or Israel's, or Europe's. I have never been on the British, the German, the Catholic, the Dutch, the Catholic, or the Protestant side. I did not uphold the Crusaders, not the Turks, or the Golden Hordes, nor the sons of Ali, nor the sons of Muhammad. I did not guide the hand of David, or Solomon, or the hand of Caesar, or Alexander, or Ptolemy. Thou shalt not kill. There are no exceptions. You are the same blood, you and every child of your mother in heaven alive on this planet. When you spill their blood, you spill your own. So refuse. If they call you a coward for refusing to murder your brother or sister, be a coward. In your mother's eyes, you're a hero. There are no just wars. War is a collective murder-suicide pact by members of the same family. You may not take from her other children the gift that your mother in heaven gave you, existence. Love is the only family value that matters. Blessing and good. Be well.